Well, Bernie Sanders takes a swipe at Hillary Clinton in an interview with BET. Senator Sanders accused Clinton of latching on to the president in an effort to secure the minority vote. Listen.
Hillary Clinton now is trying to embrace the president as closely as she possibly can. Everything the president does is wonderful. She loves the president. He loves her and all that stuff. And we know what that's about. That's trying to win support from the African-American community where the president is enormously popular. Well, you know what? I have enormous respect for the president. He's a friend. We have worked together. I think he has done a great job in many respects. But you know what? Like any other human being, he is wrong on certain issues.
So let's talk about it with Ford O'Connell, a Republican strategist and adjunct professor at George Washington University Graduate School of Political Management. Garland Nixon is a Democratic strategist and a radio talk show host. Welcome to both of you. Garland, I want to start with you first, just from a political analysis standpoint. Take apart what Bernie Sanders just said there regarding his competitor, Hillary Clinton.
Certainly. I think strategically it was actually brilliant. He did two things. Number one, he pointed out that Hillary is taking an absolutist position. The president is all good. You can't criticize him. He went from that, which is not a position that's very easily defended. Secondly, he leveraged his numbers regarding trust. He said, look, Hillary is just saying this to, for nefarious purposes. You can't necessarily trust what she says. So I think it was brilliant. And then he went back to the president is he's a human being. He makes errors. Not everything is perfect. So he reinforced the idea that, no, the president is not perfect. And that's an absolutist and unreasonably absolutist position.
Ford, a year or so ago, Mrs. Clinton led this kind of unknown senator, even though he'd been there forever, by something like 46 points. Now he is ahead of her in the latest Fox News poll. Are African voters the key to saving her candidacy?
Well, Bernie Sanders is 1,000% right. If Hillary Clinton's going to win the Democratic presidential nomination, it's going to be African-American voters in particular that push her over the gap. Understand what the problem is for Hillary Clinton. She has no unifying vision for the country. She's running towards the status quo while everyone else is running against it. She has no emotional connection with the voters. Sanders has closed the gender gap. He's crushing her with millennials. He's crushing her with blue-collar Democrats. And right now, she doesn't know where to go. And Bernie Sanders, on the other hand, is saying, guess what? This movement is about you. It's not about me, and therefore I'm here to fight for you because guess what? The system's rigged. The problem for Hillary Clinton is her message is it's all about me. You got to vote for me because I'm a woman, because I'm electable, and because I'm the heir to Barack Obama.
Right now, there are two African-American senators in the U.S. Congress. Tim Scott from South Carolina, obviously, is one of them, a very popular figure, and he is a Republican. He was speaking with our Geraldo Rivera on race and the election. Listen to this.
You fuse together the issue of race and the economy, and you come to the same conclusion. People are looking for hope. The question is, how do you find hope? You find hope through your faith, you find hope through your family, and you find hope through an economy that is bursting. If we find a president who can instill and reinforce those principles, we win as a nation, and I think the world is a better place to live.
Or, Garland, maybe if you're Hillary Clinton, you find hope by grabbing Barack Obama's coattails very tightly.
Well, I think right now, Hillary's strength with the African-American community, realistically, is that they're pragmatic voters, and they really don't think that, for the most part, a lot of them don't think that Bernie can win, and Hillary's in trouble if that changes. Because keep in mind, most African-Americans, the majority of African-Americans fall in working class, working poor, and Bernie has a message that's very, very attractive to working class voters.
Well,
it's beyond attractive to working class voters. He's talking about free college, free health care, and free puppies. I got to be perfectly honest with you. Not only does he have a vision and an emotional connection, he's offering everything but the kitchen sink to voters out there. What I can't believe, though, is that Hillary Clinton, particularly in South Carolina, still has a 42-point edge with black voters because, honestly, I'm not so sure that black pastors and elected officials are allowing Bernie to make his case to black voters because I think if he could, he might break through.
Garland, what about that? I mean, it was the African-American vote that doomed her candidacy in 2008. Could save her this time around?
Well, you know, generally the African-American voters vote one of two ways, either for the Democrat or against the Republican. And I think that with Hillary, right now, the support for Hillary is actually against the Republican. I think it comes from a fear that maybe Bernie can't win. And as I said, you know, Hillary's trying to run out the clock because as time goes on and as the polls start to change, people are starting to be concerned as to whether or not Hillary can win and whether Bernie's actually doing better than Hillary against the top Republican candidate.
And to Garland's point, though, John, let me say this. The question is, I think she's going to wind up possibly losing Nevada. And the next set of states, including South Carolina, Alabama, and Louisiana, set up very nicely because the majority of the Democratic electorate in those states is African-American. But if she starts slipping with African-Americans and can't throw some W's up on the board, I'm going to tell you something. Bernie Sanders may not be the nominee, but neither may Hillary Clinton.
All right, Ford O'Connell from the Republican side, Garland Nixon from the Democratic side. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.